So this is why you will relapse on semen retention, and it's okay. It really doesn't have much to do with your willpower so much as it has to do with you getting purified, right? And the reason you're relapsing is because you're in the process of letting go of the need for women and female attraction and sex and lust and all of that stuff, right? So what happens, right? You decide one day, I was watching one of Kai's videos and I'm gonna do semen retention today. I'm gonna do it, right? I've had enough of the women, had enough sex for a little bit. And you start. And then what happens when you start? Maybe you make it a couple weeks, a month, whatever. All right. There's that urge that's just destroying you on the inside. It's destroying you. Like, I need to have sex. I need to have sex, right? So say you're 3 weeks in. Let's say you're 3 weeks in. You're still in the danger zone, as I like to call it, because the danger zone is the first 6 to 8 weeks. That's the danger zone. You make it through that. You make it through it's the equivalent of when you're going out into, when you're going to go surf and you're still getting past the shoreline, the wake, so to speak, the surf zone, I like to call it, right? It's really bumpy. But once you get out there into open water, it's a lot smoother, right? You can catch the big wave. And it's just destroying you. You have all this energy that's just sitting in your body, and for your entire life it's been just going right to your groin, right to your penis, right to your sex organs, right down there. And you're just, because it's been conditioned to do so, all of this energy is just, all this sexual energy is just whoop right down, right? Later it's going to start filtering through the entire body, and it's going to be clean and purified, and it's going to be very calm, relaxing energy, right? It's going to be, your life force is going to be just flowing through you like lightning is flowing through Thor. But you know what? I got to go have sex. All right? So you're feeling how you're feeling on semen retention. You're feeling good. You're feeling energized. You're like, oh my God, I've made it 19 days because, the streaks, it's got my streak going. You go have sex. And then, or you masturbate, or you watch porn, or you do something. You do something, but you break it. You fall into old habits. And then what happens is you do it. You come, you ejaculate, whatever. You release. And then you feel real good for a couple minutes maybe, right? And then what happens after that is you start to realize, wow, that actually wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be much better than what it was. It was really just, I didn't like it. I didn't like what I just did right there. Maybe if you've made it a certain point in semen retention, your consciousness starts to get purified. You start to become more empathetic, more emotional, in a good way. You start to get in touch with your emotions, not letting them destroy you or anything. But man, I just can't use women for sexual objects anymore. I don't know if a lot of people can relate to that, but that ended up happening to me after just a couple decades of doing the exact opposite. I was like, man, I have to be honest with people now and all of that. But anyways, I don't feel comfortable just being an asshole. But anyways, you sit there and it's just, wow, I don't feel good about myself, right? So what happened? The thing that you thought you wanted, right? The thing that your mind was telling you to have, the thing that you thought your mind was telling you wanted, and it was great, right? And then you realized, oh, maybe I don't want this. I want to start back up on semen retention. I don't know why I did that. See, that's another thing, is don't judge yourself if you break retention. Just don't judge yourself at all. It's fine. It's not, it's no big deal. The problem is people get too hard on themselves. And I did this too. Man, I just broke my streak. Dang. Now I'm going to be all mean to myself. Got to punish myself. And then, but don't be hard on yourself. Just take it for what it is, but realize why you did what you did and then be in touch with how you're feeling right now. And what's probably going to happen is you're going to be like, man, I don't really feel too good about this. So then the next time you get back on a streak and you maybe get a couple weeks in or whatever, and then the next time that you have that serious urge to do it, you can think back because you have the wisdom to realize, like, you have real wisdom. It's not something you can watch on YouTube or someone tell you. You have to just know this. You realize, man, I remember how I felt the last time I felt the need to break this. I'm going to keep pushing. And that's what happens. And that's how you build the streak. I was getting a phone call. Potential spam. And so let me make sure this is still recording. Okay, yeah, we're good. But yeah, you have the streak going. And then you continue the streak on. Right? But that's how you slowly transcend the need for women in your life. Because as your streak grows, as the benefits grow, as you get more used to the benefits and you realize what great things it's doing for your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and all of this stuff, and then you revert back and you see how it is in the old way. It's like when you put on a brand new pair of running shoes or a brand new pair of shoes, with the custom insole, the orthotics, the custom insoles. And then you're like, it feels a little weird for a couple weeks, right? Because you got to get used to it. You got to break them in. But once you break them in, it's like, wow, I feel like a new human being. All my joints are aligned. All the muscles are lined up because my foot is properly balanced and aligned. And then after that, you take them off again. And you're like, whoa, man, this isn't how it should be. I like this. I like zero. I don't know. I try to strengthen my feet these days because they're just so vital. I think shoes can weaken our feet. They're too cushioned. But anyways, my point is, yeah, you start to be able to draw that wisdom of like what it's like, and then how you prefer it. And then the streaks continue, the streaks grow, and then you slowly start to filter out and transcend the need for women. That's what's happening step by step. Because I've done a lot of videos on semen retention where it's been, okay, well, you're just going to let go of the need for women, and this is what it's like on the other end of it. But like the due process is where this happens. You slowly chip away at that need for women through that. By realizing when you revert back to old patterns, how it makes you feel, which is most of the time worse. You just don't feel good. Even if it's like a really amazing woman. Okay, I mean, again, I'm generalizing here. Like, there's so many scenarios. Maybe it does, I don't know. But for the most part, right, when you're reverting back to that old sexual instinct of like, I just need to have sex. I just need to masturbate. I need to watch porn. I don't know. And then you realize how much worse it makes you feel. You're like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I'm going to get back on the habit. And that's how you break the wisdom. And then that's how you slowly let go of the need for it. You don't want to do it anymore. It's just a genuine, organic end. Right? There's nothing forcing you to do it, but you're growing through this wisdom on how to do it. So like that's like, and so that's why like relapse is just 100% necessary. I think, and the problem is a lot of times I think people just get really hard on themselves, which I had before, and it doesn't matter. When you're going to get to a certain point, if you stick with this long enough, like, don't worry about streaks. Don't worry about how many days you have. Just focus on turning it into a lifestyle. Because I don't care how many years you've been doing semen retention. I don't care how, long it's been in your life. I mean, there's just going to be times where you're just going to break. You're just going to relapse. It is what it is, but focus on turning it into a lifestyle as opposed to like, oh, when you're eating really clean and healthy, I've gone 326 days without a cheat meal. And then you have a hamburger and you have an ice cream cone, when it really doesn't affect you at all one time. You just get all hard and down on yourself as opposed to, like, I'm going to just have this. This is a conscious choice that I'm making. It turns into like an unconscious need and an urge to a conscious choice. So say, so I'm going to have this hamburger today. It's a conscious choice that I'm making. I eat really clean, but I'm not worried about my diet. It's just my lifestyle. I already have a good lifestyle. So if you meet a really nice girl or you want to just go have some sex, then go have some sex. Like, go have some sex and see how you feel afterwards. If you feel worse and you don't want to do it again, then don't do it again. If you do, you do. If you meet a really amazing woman, that you want to turn into a girlfriend or a wife, you want to lock her down, then go ahead and do that. It's fine. Just, also enjoy your life. Like, this stuff isn't meant to be, just super hateful and negative and hard and difficult. I mean, yes, it's difficult, right? It's really hard to get a lock on this sexual instinct. I mean, it's imprinted DNA in our bodies. You're not going to just get rid of it, but also, like, make room for enjoyment as well. Like, when you develop, when you really get to that point, you'll know, like, semen retention is going to get you so in touch with your intuition when it comes to women and sex and masturbation, for the reason being that you're going to be able to differentiate. You're not going to have these, like, ridiculously strong urges anymore. And even if you do, you'll be able to tell, oh, this is just an urge, and you have the discipline. I mean, it's at a certain point, you're going to have such a strong level of discipline that you're going to be able to work through it. You're going to be able to know how to work through it. But you have to develop how to work through those urges in your own mind, in your own body and consciousness, by relapsing. You have to do it, and stay conscious of how you feel when you're doing it. Like, as you're doing it, if you're going to relapse and go have some sex or watch some porn, like, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel bad? I don't know. That's up to you. I mean, I personally don't watch porn at all anymore, but, occasionally it's just, it's like you're in the opportunity presents itself, and, you run into a nice girl you want to see for a little bit, go have some sex. I'd find it hard to always pick up semen retention again after I'm done having sex with a woman. Say I'm dating her a couple months, or, after we get out of a relationship, long-term or short-term, whatever, because that dopamine fix starts to get recycled through when I'm having sex, and it's like, it's harder for me to start building it back up again, because it's so addictive. It's so addictive. You got to be really careful. But don't sweat it if you relapse. Like, it's all a part of the process, and it's necessary. So you're gonna relapse, you're gonna regress, you're gonna fail, but it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. This is where you gain the actual wisdom, right? So don't sweat it, right? Preserve them fluids, stay retaining. All right.